4 event. This time, all 4 are from the Fire Emblem 3 Houses game. I'm sure you already know these 4 heroes, but I'm so excited to introduce them. I need your Claude to dress in a tastefully mature way. It's worth the time. Presenting the runner from the women's division. Noble of the Lesser Alliance and daughter of Count Ordunia. It's Lysithea. Oh, is she wearing tires like grammar class? It's a look that suits her well. No, Lysithea, I'm sure she'll still have no problem smiting her foes with powerful magic.
There are so many people here from all walks of life working together. It's pretty much my ideal spot.
Now for the runner-up from the men's division. Former leader of the Lesser Alliance and current king of Elmira. It's Claude. He's dressed in the garb of an Elmiran wyvern rider, needing to show off his skill with a bow. The regalia of the adjusted emperor is a heavy burden to bear. Moving right along, here's the winner of the women's division. It's my honor to present the emperor of the adjusted empire, Edelgard. She's donned the legendary regalia of the empire, with a huge shield and axe like that, so that she can hold her own on both the offensive and defensive.
However ambitious the goal may be, a world free from oppression is worth fighting for.
Finally, the winner of the men's division, king of the holy kingdom of Fargus, it's none other than Dimitri. He's dressed in a attire fit for Fargus' king, although he's always been good with a lance. I wonder if he has some new techniques to demonstrate.
What the hell was that? Just, what? That just, Choose Your Legends is supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to be great. I don't know what IS was thinking. Just, why? Just going with their endgame classes? Repeating it all? Like, let's look at the, spoiler alert, by the way, because technically one of these is a spoiler, if Heroes hasn't already spoiled it heavily enough. So, spoilers for 3 Houses. This isn't a spoiler for any specific path, as it is revealed before the split off. But it is still a massive spoiler, so safe and sorry. But looking at Edelgard in the game, you have the Edelgard from the 3 Houses first banner in July of last year, who is an Axe Infantry. Flame Emperor, who is an Axe Armor. Legendary Edelgard, who is an Axe Emperor. Axe Armor. And now, Choose Your Legends for Edelgard, which is an Axe Armor. Same thing goes with Dimitri, with them all being lances. The inevitable legendary one's going to be a lance as well. Same thing with Claude and the bow. And Lysithea, it's like, you couldn't have given her any other color of magic? Any? Had to be red? A red infantry mage? The one you already gave her? Oh, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what the heck they were thinking. So, I decided to fix them. Well, my idea for them to be fixed. This video took, it was very hard, so, you know, and if you don't agree with this, as I've only played 2 paths of 3 houses, feel free to completely disagree. Feel free to come up with your own ideas, send them to me. I'd love to see it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, these are all based on a character's hidden talent in Fire Emblem 3 Houses. For example, Bernadetta, who you all seem to like as much as I do, has a hidden talent in horses, riding, as it's called in 3 Houses, or as it's called in Heroes, cavalry. Which basically means she's not natively good at it, but she has hidden potential in it. All of these do the same thing here, where they are all based on the hidden potential, hidden talent of these units. So, figure, you guys like Bernadetta? Then sure, we're going to do a Fire Emblem video. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. Yeah, the one I'm most disappointed by. But I really like where they did go with her in the current version anyway. Attack speed, push, stuff like that. But I feel like we're not going to go with Mage, which I'm not going to, because it's Choose Your Legends, let's go all out. Thunderbrand, woo! For those who haven't played 3 Houses, Thunderbrand is one of the relics, and actually, I think it's the first relic you actually encounter in the game. Obviously, those who play Heroes have seen things like Hilda's weapon, Net's weapon, of course, the Sword of the Creator. But technically, in the storyline that Byleth and the students are witnessing, the first one that is brought up to us is Thunderbrand, wielded by Catherine, which also happens to require the same crest as Lysithea. So she can equip Thunderbrand. It's basically a Brave Sword, so I gave it the Brave Sword effect without the -5 speed, and just a simple... I think this is a pretty neat effect that could actually give some more versatility and use to skills like Lunge. And drawback is basically if an after combat movement skill is activated, not like Gale Force, but like Lunge, drawback, those kind of kills, it will inflict -5 speed on the enemy for the next turn. I think that's a pretty unique effect, and with something like Gale Force, which I did build into her base kit already, I could really see her taking advantage of this. I based her stat spread off of Merida, which I feel like does work here. Obviously, if you wanted to actually put her in the game and you don't want to do this whole lunge thing, which I get, you could even build the lunge effect into the weapon itself, or something like that. You could easily give Lysithea a damage reduction skill, because fast sword infantry unit. But I wanted to make something unique, and I feel like giving more use to skills like Lunge is a really cool idea, because those skills have been in the game for so long, they don't get any love, they can't be power crept by higher tier versions, and they're honestly really unique skills to play with, and I love using skills like that in Hidden Run on units like Cordelia. So I'd love to see something like a Brave Sword Lysithea use it. So yeah, there we go. For Claude, I decided to make him a defensive Axe Flyer unit. His hidden talent, just like Lysithea, is in his weapon. Totally forgot to mention that for her, so... He has a similar stat spread to units like Hell and Spring Fear, aka some of the few 5-star locked Axe units. But I feel like he could be done quite interestingly, giving him some more defense, basically making him very min-maxable. I think if I were to redo this, I would take a few points away from attack and balance that out so he has a very balanced stat spread. Something more similar to Lilith, for example. So basically, you can make him manipulatable as possible, so he can be a fast offensive unit or a slow defensive unit. I think that would fit Claude heavily, as he is a man known for schemes. But for now, this is what I came up with. I feel like just giving him basically just the cunning bow again would be fine. Just making an axe. I'm not good with coming up with weapons or new skills. I'll be honest, I've never actually made Theorycraft units before, but I thought this would be something fun to do, so... The idea is here, basically, a Wyvern axe riding Claude. So for now, I just went with giving him an axe named the Cunning Axe. Hey, if we want, we can just continually do this, and we eventually get the Cunning Lance and Cunning Sword. Cunning Dagger. Just make it a skill line only Claudes can use. I don't know, but for now it's basically that, but we replace the effective against flyers, which is a bow thing, just in general, with effective against armor to keep the effective against trait, and axes seem to more genuinely do well against armors, and I think that actually does also work well for Claude, giving him an advantage now both against Dimitri and Edelgard through either the color triangle or his weapon. So I think that's definitely a very smart choice, and I think with someone as scheming and honestly great as Claude, he deserves something like that. Next up is Brave I was about to say Legendary Edelgard, by the way, who has a hidden talent in Reason, which I feel like could be represented with either a red tome or a colorless tome. I'd love to have a freebie colorless tome. I think that'd be insane, and I feel like she would be a good place to give it with Choose Your Legends. So basically, I think she'd be very defensive while being offensive at the same time. So I couldn't really figure out a magic to use, as some spells like Hades Omega are already in the game, which is her final tome she learns by level up. So I gave her a brand new thing named Flames Omega. I'm sure you could think of something better as the name, but I'd figure Flame Emperor. Crap. I gave you a spoiler warning. Stuff like that. Basically, it will lower attack, defense, and res by 2, and will also attack the lower defense or res, basically the Felicia's Plate effect, and lower special trigger cooldown by 1. And I also gave her a Drestian Seal, which unit can counterattack at a distance if foe is using any non-magic type weapon, which I'm realizing is kind of pointless on a ranged unit. But are there even, I guess, well, she can counterattack if it's not dragon or beast units, basically. Which I think it's fair, because they do, I'd argue they should count as both. Anyway, even if they are technically physically attacking you, they're turning you into a dragon or a beast to do it. So, boom. And also, if unit is not adjacent to an ally, she will get the Spurn effect to make her a very defensive mage. I don't think that's a category very used too much. And I basically tried to give her a stat spread somewhat similar to, ironically, original Lysithea, who's a very offensive nuke. Basically, I gave her Lysithea's stat spread, but took a lot of the points in speed and gave it to defense and res. And I think that really makes for a nice defensive, slow, and strong Brave Edelgard. Dimitri is a very weird case when it comes to this, as I feel like how he's looking already is what I would want from him. Basically, I gave him kind of, the word would be, Fallen Berkut stat line. Basically, I'd be happy if we got a defensive cavalry unit instead. Like, literally, I think what he has going for him already would work really well. If simply you made him a cavalry to incorporate his hidden talent. I honestly wouldn't have touched him if I didn't have the hidden talent rule, and sadly he doesn't have a hidden talent for weapons. It's riding. Ironically, the example we used at the start to explain what hidden talents are. But basically my idea, whatever Gravitas does, it's basically that, and then Holy Shield will basically be a damage reduction effect plus something else. I don't know, but I didn't put too much thought into him, because I feel like what we're currently getting is what I would pick anyway. Not even what I would pick as the unit, though, but, like, what I would go with if I were creating a Brave Dimitri. I would just change him out to a cavalry unit. There, I think using hidden talents would work insanely well, and I'll say this much, if we had brawling in the game as a weapon type, I think I would have made him a brawler. Just for the reason of I don't have anything else to go with, let's just base him off of his retainer to do. Which I'm realizing would work extremely well, considering the other two you could argue as well, because Claude got an axe as his hidden talent, and Edelgard got black magic. Yeah, I could have just used those explanations. But if brawling were in Fire Emblem Heroes, I would have went with that, then just changed the explanation, but also would have prefaced it would make even more sense with hidden talents existing. So, yeah, brawling doesn't exist. It'd be a lot different story if we could just send some punches. I'm realizing that's probably why they're not giving us an Ashen Wolves banner. Give me an Ashen Wolves banner, IS. Well, I guess, to the end screen. This is definitely one of the more unique Fire Emblem videos I've made on this channel. If you want to see more of basically unit speculations, like, for example, seasonal alts, what would you, or even your ideas, something like this, I never ask for this if you've watched for a long time, or even if you're just new here and just watched the Fire Emblem content I've put out recently. I never ask for likes or anything, but I am really just, I don't know, because this video did take a lot longer to make, hence the longer upload time. That, and there's literally a construction 5 feet away from my recording studio. I'll show you in another video if you guys want, but basically, leave a like if you guys want to see more content like this, because it is very different. I'm honestly on the fence if I am going to, pull and choose your legend. At this point, ignore the motorcycle driving past my window. Cause I was gonna pull, like, hell, I would have taken pretty much anything else for Lysithea. I would have taken anything else for any of the characters. So I might just go with my free summon. Because I was gonna go to the Spark, but I don't care. They have good art, but what's good art when the banner is disappointing itself? I don't know. So, I'm not that excited, honestly. I feel like they could have done so much more. Even just making one of the changes in here would have made that banner a lot more unique, instead of just Lysithea gets a mage alt, Edelgard gets another armor axe. It's not exciting, and yeah. Well, hopefully a Lilith rerun or a Tsubasa rerun comes around soon, so I will heavily pull for those. But if not, I don't know when the next summoning video is coming out, because at this point, there aren't really any units I want in the game. The top ones were literally Lilith and Bernadetta. And at this point, alts are unpredictable. I can't think of any seasonal reruns I'd pull on right now. Maybe the original Halloween banner, because getting some Halloween Sakuras would be good. They definitely don't have the best inheritable weapon in the game right now. But it's hard to say. But if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to dislike. I don't really care. Well, I do, but it's your choice, basically. If you enjoy the content, do whatever you want to do to support it. And have a good day. And hopefully the next Fire Emblem Heroes banner treats you nicely.